On the 5th of May 2024, I predicted this would happen. The totally corrupt sham of a Supreme Court of the United States granted Trump full immunity. Now the slow coup to take over the country and turn it into a Nazi-style fascist country can finally start. The evangelical Christo-fascists of the Republican Party have counted on the bad memory of the citizens and the poor state of the American education. Over the years, they installed their puppets in the Supreme Court. Slowly, this happened since the Ronald Reagan administration, to be sure that their takeover would not be noticed. And it worked because people forgot every new crooked justice that was installed by these fascists. Again, I predicted this would happen, because unlike most Americans, I do have an excellent memory. But nobody listened.
Hello, my name is Ivy. Usually I make silly comedy videos, but as now and then, I also do serious videos that are usually a rant about something that bothers me. I call them the problem with, and then the subject, videos. This is one of them. A while ago on Twitter I posted a prediction. No Elon Musk. Nobody calls it X, because it is a stupid moronic name. Like I said, I made a prediction of the future, a prediction of which I hope to be proven wrong with all my heart. But first, this needs some explaining. Being from the Netherlands, I am not very engaged in the politics of the USA, but what I do know scares the crap out of me. A while ago, I published this video called The Insane States of America. Here I used a collection of memes I created to show how this country, situated between Mexico in the south and Canada in the north, is sliding to insanity in a rapidly accelerating downward spiral of mostly religiously based insanity. I explicitly mentioned a country situated between Mexico in the south and Canada in the north. Because as it turns out, when asked to people in the street, less than 25% can answer the question, what are the countries the USA shares borders with? Almost none can point out countries like the United Kingdom, Australia, China, or Japan on a blind world map. A country so obsessed with the right to own deadly military-grade firearms that they just stop to care about the thousands of innocent gun deaths every year. It is just far from their bed. Okay, nothing new here, would you say? If you say so, you are wrong. Unlike almost 90% of the American people, I share an excellent memory of the years of building up of this insanity that roughly started with the Ronald Reagan administration and accelerated like crazy since Donald Trump became president for the Republicans, or as I came to call them, the American Taliban. I remember how Republican administrations started to replace the deceased or resigning justices in the Supreme Court of the United States with Republican-minded successors. The candidates introduced by Democrat presidents were shoved aside by the Republican majority in Congress. On the moment all the members of the Supreme Court were replaced by most fundamental Christian Republican judges, the shit started hitting the fan. They overturned Roe v. Wade, and by this unleashed total insanity in many of the Republican-controlled states. Or have you Americans also forgotten that already? Please, fact-check me on that. The United States now have the most corrupt Supreme Court in history. Or as you can say, bought and paid for by the Republican Party. What the USA also has is a criminal maniacal Republican, second-time, presidential candidate named Donald Trump who has become a cult leader. The only hope to prevent him to become president again and have him finish his fascist view now lies with the criminal courts and eventually, the highest court. Trump constantly calls on his claim for absolute immunity from criminal prosecution. This claim now soon comes in front of these guys. My prediction of the future herein is very bleak. I think the Supreme Court will overturn any criminal verdict against Trump and establish his claim to absolute immunity. From that moment on, Trump will be free again. He will proclaim to be a martyr in the name of democracy and use this argument to win the coming election to become the American president again. And this will essentially lead him to become the United States version of Kim Jong-un, Hitler, Perón, Franco, Putin, for life. This scares me so much, you really have no idea. But the majority of the American people is not even aware of this, because of shit-poor education, being brainwashed by evangelical churches and worshipping their gods of dollars and guns, and believing the USA is the greatest country in the world. Since none of all the imaginary gods will listen anyway, I can only pray to future history, to not ever allow to make this happen, that my prediction will be proven wrong. This was my rant for today. As you might have noticed, I have a new voice. I hope you like it, and please leave a comment below. Hey, before you leave, please do the YouTubey stuff like hitting that like button, and please share my videos in your social media. Since this voice is not a free service, I really would appreciate it if you could support me on patreon.com, and perhaps I can find some more ways of support. Please help me get out of this YouTube algorithm limbo, and I hope to see you next week, okay?